Hey, it's Michael Glenn with Bujinkan Santa Monica. Thanks for reading my blog and checking out this video. Coming up, I want to talk about Fudouza and also explain why Fudouza might be important for you in the Bujinkan. And lastly, a secret way to get out of Fudouza. Fudouza helps us find Fudoshin, which is the perseverance and steady state of mind to deal with any obstacle. We have many techniques in the Bujinkan that are called suwari gata, and a lot of suwari gata starts from this Fudouza position, seated, and you are attacked from this position in a variety of ways. When we're sitting in Fudouza, there's this feeling that there's a connection between the sky and the earth. Our connection between heavens and the earth, we're taking that energy, that connection, and bringing it into the field of time in this moment. This is a very important idea for training, one that is hard to embody, but useful when you can tap into it. That connection between the sky and the earth in mythology or philosophy is often referred to as the axis mundi, which is the central axis around which the world revolves. In Japan, for example, Mount Fuji is kind of a symbol for the axis mundi. The bodhi tree under which the Buddha sat when he found his awakening, his enlightenment, that also the tree becomes a symbol of the central axis of the world. Also the Christmas tree in the Western tradition symbolizes this central axis. Beyond those physical, natural symbols also are the human body. In yoga, for example, there's the kundalini, and the energies revolve around this axis. So our human body, seated this way, helps to symbolize this central axis. Also, Buddha, when he sat under the Bodhi tree, became a symbol for this. As he was sitting in this position and meditating, trying to break through, he was attacked by Mara with fear and desire and doubt. And at one point, he placed his hand and touched the ground in front of him. This was a way for him to symbolize that he was immovable. In this spot, at this time, he could not be moved or defeated by Mara. So this spot, this Fudo or Fudouza, immovable seat, cannot be swayed by desire or fear. It's immovable. Okay, so when Buddha, when he found his awakened state, when he reached enlightenment in this spot, he sat for 7 days in this spot without moving. Then the next thing that happened was he realized that this spot was the center of the world. And so he got up from this spot and walked 7 steps. And after walking 7 steps, he looked back at that spot and stood for 7 days staring at that spot. So then he took 7 days to walk to this spot and back to this spot and back and forth for 7 days. What he was sensing or feeling in that that movement back and forth between those spots was that this spot was the center of the world and the axis mundi, but that spot was as well. Wherever he stood, it was the center of the universe. This is a really wonderful realization that we can use in our own training. The Buddha at that point realized that this was something that couldn't be taught. It was an experience. This happens to me often in the Bujinkan. There are things that we train on, feelings that we receive from our teachers that can't really be taught. They're just something that has to be absorbed in the moment. And that's an exciting experience when it happens, but frustrating because it can't be forced or pushed on a student. So Sensei, when he does his suwari gata, a lot of times he doesn't sit in Fudouza. He'll often sit in a half lotus position, and he talks about being like Daruma, moving like Daruma. Some of you might know Daruma. Daruma is this little doll here that's popular in Japan, and Daruma is set up so that he wobbles but he won't fall over. So when we're in Fudouza, we also want to be able to wobble without falling over. That kind of movement is very useful in suwari gata when you're evading or moving from things. So the last thing that I said I was going to share here was how to move from this position in an interesting way. I'm going to attempt it. It's a bit acrobatic, but you leave Fudouza with your hands. So I come up here onto my feet.